If you feel like you want to practice and you have nowhere to do it, you're going to want to watch this. So what we're going to do here is blind bailing. I'm set, 2-3 yards away from my target, just in my garage. Have a pretty decent target set up. That way I'm not shooting into my electrical panel. That'd be pretty cool, but I don't know. I don't have enough cameras to set up to show all the sparks and stuff that would go off. So this one really boring way to shoot your bow, and I'm not gonna lie about it. It's tedious, it's monotonous, and you don't really get the satisfaction that you get shooting at longer distance. But what you do get is the check on form. So one thing I'm noticing already, as you can probably tell from the video, is when I'm blind bailing, my release is a lot hotter than it is when I'm out there shooting at distance. Yesterday I was shooting in the backyard. I felt like this release took all the effort I had to pull through and make it go off. So it is a resistance back tension style release, meaning that I'm holding this safety, I let off the safety, pull through the shot, it fires when it reaches that tension or resistance that it's set at. Already here, I'm firing with what feels like very little ease, which tells me that my mind is off of aiming. I'm not focused on the dot. I'm not focused on my pin float. I'm simply focused on form. I'm not focused well, because if I was focused well, I would be able to have a more controlled release with this and actually have to drive that elbow out and back to achieve what I want to achieve. So let's see if we can do that here. Shot process is going to be draw, set shoulder, find my peep, find my anchor, settle in, find my aim. I've got good back pressure, release the safety, pull through the shot. Conscious effort versus just going out there and slinging arrows and hoping for the best. You're going to find yourself doing a lot of hoping. And I'm not going to lie, this is extremely boring. You get zero satisfaction shooting at 2 or 3 yards in your garage. But it's the only thing that's going to take your mind off of that dot and that pin and allow you to focus on what's going to let you put that arrow into that dot. So I'll come out here and do this. I need to do it more, several times. Several times throughout the week. And like I said, I'm trying to do it more, but it really lets me break down and think about what I'm doing to make this go where I want to go. Because once this arrow leaves the bow, you've done everything you can do to correct it. There's no changing it. It's going where it's going. It's what you do before it leaves that's going to count. That's going to be your form, your shot process, that extra little flinch that you have because you know the release is going off. That's why I switched to a resistance release. I've been both more accurate and less accurate with this release. It's crazy. One day I'm go out shooting lights out. The next day I'm all over the place. So I come back in here. I want to break down my process even more and really dial in what I'm doing here. So that's what I'm doing. I learned this tip from some great shooters. You can go on YouTube, forums, wherever you want to go, and they're all going to recommend blind bailing. And if they don't, you should probably just stop listening to them anyway. So I am a beginner. I'm not a pro. I'm giving these tips because I've learned them along the way, and they're helping me become a better archer and achieve my goals. And what my goals are is to become a well-rounded archer, a well-rounded hunter, and also a less well-rounded hunter because I'm trying to lose weight. I'm 75 pounds down now, and I'm on that train too, so trying to get better there. But to make sure that I'm doing everything I can to become better at what I want to do. And if this boring process can be recommended by so many, then that's what I'm going to do. Because it's just like everything else in life, right? We want the result. We want the fun times. We want to go out and rip shots at 80, 100 yards. But it's not fun when you're not hitting where you want to hit. So you come in here, shoot at 3, dial in your shot process. Probably don't make a video while you're doing it. It's not the best for me. So after the video is off, I'll actually have some conscious time to practice. But yeah, give it a shot. If you're that guy that lives in an apartment, doesn't have much of a backyard, has nowhere safe to shoot, figure out a way to blind bail. You can go pick up a good foam target. I have the Morel 6x whatever they call it. It looks like a dice. High roller, that's the one. It's gonna stop an arrow. You don't want to do what I did when I was a kid and throw your cheap block target down at the end of the hallway because you want to show your buddies how well you can shoot. Shoot 3 arrows in a really tight group at about 20 yards, only to go up and pull them out of the target and also the door behind it. If you meet my mom to this day, she's going to tell you that story. It's something that's lived with her forever. The holes are still in her door. Yeah, she wasn't very happy. So get something that's going to stop your arrow. Don't use a bag target. They're really good at the beginning, and then they're not. So spend the good money, spend the extra money, get a good target. This thing goes with me everywhere. I throw it in the back of my truck, set it up in the woods. It goes to my backyard. I take good care of it. I bring it in out of the weather. I have holes all through it, and it's not showing any signs of giving up yet. But yeah, try the boring stuff. Work on form, your shot process. Really slow things down, because when you're aiming, your brain can't think of anything except for that pin. And you're not going to get the result you want. So give it a shot. Give me your feedback. If you've tried it and it didn't work for you, I want to hear about that too. If you tried it and it worked really well for you, please let everybody know. Give it a shot. You know, like I said, if you're in that apartment, throw your mattress up against the wall and put a target in front of it. Whatever you got to do. Don't shoot your neighbors. It will go through the wall. Might catch a stud, might not, but your neighbors aren't going to like you very much if your arrow goes through their wall. So I come out here in my garage. I've got 2x4s set up behind it. If I'm way off to the right, there's an electrical box back there and a 220 outlet. Probably wouldn't be good to hit any of that, but it's a safe place. And at the end of the day, I'm putting holes in my house, so not my mom's. Will be better for it. But yeah, give this a shot. Blind bailing is boring. Blind bailing is the way. This is going to give you the result you want at the end of the season of sitting here and putting in the tedious work of just working on your shot process. Close your eyes, really focus on one thing at a time. Maybe it's hand placement, maybe it's back tension, maybe it's just holding your pin. Set your pin on the target, watch it float around, let your bow down. Letting down is the hardest thing we do. It's like a mind. Happy 4th of July, the fireworks are already starting. It's a mind killer. So letting down, no one wants to do it. You've done all that work to draw the bow back. You want to see the arrow fly. But if you feel like you should probably let down, you do it, because that arrow is going to fly not where you want it to. It's not going to be great for your mental health or mental health. I don't know. It really affects my mental health when the arrow doesn't hit where it's supposed to. But you know what I mean. Your confidence. It's going to affect your confidence. Like if you're a new archer like me, it's really fun to go out to the 3D course and rip around and shoot 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, and then get to that 80-yard target and feel like today is going to be the day. You're going to draw back. You're going to be so worried about that last shot that you put on that 80-yard target that didn't go as planned. You're going to get the jitters. You're going to break down your process. You're going to skip steps. And you're going to miss it again. And then you're going to leave the range and you'll be like, man, I just can't figure out that 80-yard target. Well, you can. The arrow's going to go there if you do your shot right. The bow is a tool designed to put the arrow where you want it to be. If you have all of the pre-ignition stuff checked off, your shot process, your timing, good sight tape, all of that, that arrow is going exactly where you want it to. If you don't, it's not going to go where you want it to. If you're dropping your arm, if you're jerking before the shot, if you're punching the trigger, you know, if you're a trigger puncher, be honest with yourself. I don't care what anybody says. It's not the way. It may work for a couple people out there shooting tournaments, but it ain't going to work for you. Maybe you'll be the third. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's a lot more likely that a surprise shot is going to be what works for you. So yeah, we'll just run through a quick review that I've had too with a silverback. When I'm shooting at distance, it feels really hard to make this go off. Really hard. And I found the same thing with my thumb button. I'll go in and blind bail with my coach and take lessons from him, and I feel like I'm doing everything right. But when that long range target, that 80-yarder's back in front of me, this thumb button that is so hot, that's it. It just went off. Like barely anything. Feels like it weighs 20 pounds. I feel like I'm really having to drive into that. That's just your brain. You're focused on everything other than getting a surprise shot and pressing that thumb barrel smooth and consistently squeezing and pulling through your shot. You're doing everything but that. But when you come in here, you can turn that all off and you can only focus on what matters. And what matters is everything you do before that string leaves the release. After that, you got no chance. It's like bowling, right? You can lean to the left and right and hope that that ball's going to go, but it's already going where you put it. And then here, now that I blind bail, it feels pretty good. Guess why? Because I'm only focusing on pulling through my shot. I'm not aiming. I'm not making sure my bow arm's up, 25 mental checks going on. Hold your bow arm up. Oh, the pin's floating. Oh God, we got to hit it now. We got to do this. We got to do that. I'm not doing any of that. It's just pull through the shot. And that's what it has to be out there. You may think that you can just go out there and tell yourself, oh, I'm just going to focus on pulling through the shot. You're not going to do it at 80 yards. You're not going to do it unless you put the time in here and focus on this. And trust me, a lot of you are going to say, that sucks. I don't want to do that. And I'm going to agree with you. It sucks. I don't want to do it either. I want to go shoot my bow, something fun, but when I do it at a 3D course or something, but I just will be hoping that I'm going to get better and not actually getting better. This is what's going to make me better. Sitting here, shooting 100 arrows into this thing, going through a string every 4 months, whatever it's going to take, because when hunting season comes around, I want to make sure that I've done everything I can do to ensure that I do right by that animal. And it's not everything I can do to make sure I put meat in the freezer, which obviously is the end result, but I want the most efficient shot that I could place on that animal. Focusing on one thing. Pull. Not jerk, just smooth. Not even pulling with my hand. I'm just tightening my back so that elbow comes around. The other thing that's going to happen when you switch releases, because it's happened to me, and I'm just a beginner, just like you who's probably watching this video, is you're going to get 3 days into shooting this release and you're going to be like, this sucks and I'm terrible with it. And I felt a lot better when I was hitting 10 rings with this one. Granted, I didn't hit many, but it felt a lot better. You're going to have to stick with it. You're going to have to commit the time. I'm committed to spending 6 months with this, and I don't care how I shoot. I don't care how I shoot. If I'm not shooting well by elk season, which I feel like I will be, I know I will be, because I'm going to come in here and do all the work that I can to ensure that I'm going to be shooting good with this. If I'm not hunting with the bow that year. I'll pull out my muzzleloader. I have a muzzleloader tag, so I can hunt archery or muzzleloader during that time frame. If I'm not feeling efficient with the bow, muzzleloader it is. I'm not going to wound an animal because I failed to adequately prepare to do what I'm supposed to do. Live animals are not what we practice on. All of that work is done in here. And like I said, there's a lot of people that have a bow and it's like, they're gonna say, oh, I can't shoot, I don't have anywhere to shoot, I live in an apartment, I live in this. Get a good target, throw it in the back of your truck, go where you can shoot, find somewhere, go in a garage, go in your buddy's garage, put a hole in his garage, he'll love it. Do it with a buddy, have them stand there, watch your form, make sure everything's good. Put in the work. I promise you, if you're struggling with target panic and you don't want to admit it, or if you do want to admit it, if you come in here and blind bail, get yourself a resistance release, or just use the release you have and focus on using back tension, squeezing through the shot. You can do it with an index, thumb button, tension, whatever. You can achieve the result you need with any release by coming in here and focusing on just that one step. Blind bail, focus on squeezing the trigger. With an index, lay that finger on there. Relax the hand and pull through the shot. It's not a squeeze. All of that is going to manipulate your string, your anchor point, everything. It's not going to put your arrow where you want it to go. Like I said, give this a shot. It sucks, it's boring, but it's something you can do when it's raining. And then go out at the end of the week and test your skills. See if you've improved. You will improve. It's not a question. This is going to help you improve. But just see how much you've improved. Not if you've improved, see how much you've improved. And then, while you're shooting the fun course, or out shooting at targets, or out ripping arrows at 80 yards, figure out what the next thing is you want to work on. Maybe you've got that pull through your shot fixed, but maybe it's your hand position. And take that one thing, and that's all you're going to focus on in here. All right, I got my hand good. Get here. All right, is my hand still good? Did I adjust it after I drew? No, I'm keeping it right here. How's the pressure in my hand? Am I torquing the bow? No, I'm good. Hold it through the shot. Oh, yeah, that was good hand pressure. One thing only. And when you get to the end of it, you're going to be a lot happier that you did. If you like my boring content and my beginner tips from a beginner for beginners, then please like and subscribe. And as I figure out more things along the way, I'll come and share them with you guys. And hopefully we all become better archers. And we can all be fighting for the first spot at archery competitions. And archery takes over the world, and everybody's got a bow, and it's the coolest sport in the world, because I think it is, and I think it should be, and I hope more people get into it. That's what I've got. Try it out. Blind bail's boring. Blind bail's the way.